Hello and welcome to Busting Free with Fee. This is my third or fourth video now, I think. Should know, shouldn't I? And today's conversation, is all about conversation. So I wanted to touch base with you and see, are you aware of what you say, who you're saying it to, and when you're saying it? Now, this sounds really, really strange because I know a lot of the times we just chat and we have conversations and we don't talk about too much and things like that. But it's really important sometimes to be very aware of what we're saying and who we're saying it to. So, for example, my mum, I love my mum. She's beautiful. She's in her 80s and, she grew up in a very, very different era to me and, well, to us. And there's things that I sort of go, sometimes she leads a little bit with the negativity. And I used not to hear it because I think I was very, very used to it. And then I started listening to the way that I would respond to her. And I actually caught myself being quite negative in my response. And then when I've been doing this work on manifestation, on mindset, my human design, all of this sort of amazing stuff that I'm bringing in at the moment and really, really enjoying doing, I took one of those moments and I listened to what or how I would speak when I was returning conversation to others. And this to me is really, really key because I have noticed a huge, huge change in the way that I respond to her. I've noticed that I pick up on other people's negativity quite quickly now as well. And I've made myself very aware of how I respond to that negativity to maybe try and get some positive back from them, because I don't think people always recognize how it is that they are talking to you. And I'm sure there's very, very smart, clever people out there that have analyzed all of this and could come to you with scientific evidence. But for me, I just find that if you can sit in a moment of silence, or if you can listen, really listen to the conversation that you are having with a person one-on-one, or even if you're in a group of people, really listen to the conversation and what's going on. And then you can actually change the flow of that conversation by popping in positive, meaningful, suggestive words. And it works, and it really does. And what I've also noticed is sometimes if it is with someone that is very close to you, it can be very hard because you've been used to having that conversation for a long time in that way. And what I've found often works is just to be silent for a moment. So take a breath when something is said to you that you might not agree with, and let that thought or let that conversation that person just had sit with them for a moment without you responding. Because silence can be incredibly, incredibly powerful. And I think that this is my personal opinion. As I said, this is things that I've been reading about and learning about and bringing in. But this is my personal opinion that I do on this, is that I think that if you can infiltrate positivity into conversations, and I don't mean by saying, oh, the sun is glorious today and everyone should be feeling wonderful, because sometimes it's not appropriate. And sometimes it's more appropriate actually to be silent and to just listen to someone, because there are an awful lot of people out there that feel they're not heard. And a lot of negativity can come from people feeling that they're not heard. So there you go. That's my little piece on conversations. So as a little bit of homework, like I always like to set, I would really like you this week, like I'm going to do because I've set it for a task of myself, is actually take a moment to listen what people are actually requiring or requesting from you in the conversation. Is it something that you need to jump straight on board and answer straight away? Is it a rhetorical question? Is it a question that someone is really asking and they are thinking, oh, I hope they give me the right answer? Is the conversation a positive or a negative slant? So really listen and then think about the way that you are going to respond back to that person. And I promise you that if you start to listen to the conversations that you're having with your friends, your family, your work colleagues, and you really take note of what's being said by these people, and as I said, sometimes remain silent for a moment, and I find that hard because I'm a bit of a chatter. But if you remained silent for a moment, then you are going to see very slowly, but you will see a shift in the way that those people communicate with you. You might even find that some of those people feel uncomfortable and they decide that they don't want to have conversations with you anymore. And that can happen because, if people are living in that negative world and you're trying to bring in a positive energy to it, sometimes it can clash because they're not ready to hear that. They're not ready to have it and they're not ready to own it. So there you go. So listen, and then, of course, like and subscribe here, and then you'll see what I do next week. There's always videos coming up. I'm really excited to be sharing all that I'm learning with you, and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Okay, if you've got any questions, reach out to me. I have a beautiful Facebook group called Health and Wealth with Fee, and I'm also on Instagram as well. So there you go. I will speak to you soon, and thank you so much for watching today. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.